Great to be here on Capitol Hill on a rainy, kind of a cold post-Thanksgiving. Congressman, it's great to see you from the great state of Virginia.
Chris, good to be with you.
This is a really critical time now as we turn the corner and head into a new year with limited time. As you well know, you guys are up for re-election every 2 years.
Yeah.
And the thing is, midterms are traditionally not friendly to the party in control, particularly when all three branches, or well, I should say at least the executive and the legislative are in total control of one party. How do you plan to change that historical course?
Well, communication is going to be key. It's always part of the midterms when the People's House stands for re-election. And we want to make sure we inform the public about all of the great achievements of this Congress. H.R. 1 included so many beneficial parts for working families, from no tax on tips to no tax on overtime to the increased child tax credit. Families are going to be saving a lot come April when they do their taxes. We are optimistic that they will realize the benefits of this legislation, and it will drive home just how much House Republicans are working for the American people.
That's my question. Do you think it's a matter of time? It's hard to tell people when they feel or they sense or they really are struggling financially, be patient. But is there an element of 4 years of economic ruin require a little bit of patience because you can't turn a battleship on a dime has sort of been my point of view. But again, I know when people struggle, they don't want to hear patience, but the reality is it may take a minute.
Yeah. And, the American people understand that during Joe Biden's tenure, inflation was rampant, approaching 10%. It was raising prices everywhere, at the pump, at the grocery store, in their energy bills. Combine that with the Green New Deal and all of the inflation spending that they did. The Inflation Control Act was anything but. It actually exacerbated inflation across the country. And so now we've brought it back down. The president's policies are holding inflation down, but we still have these concerns among the American people about high cost of healthcare because of the ACA. The affordability under the ACA has gone away. So now you have unaffordable health care. On energy costs, they passed the Green New Deal bill to address energy, and it ends up increasing energy costs. Housing, they put so many regulations on housing markets, they've increased costs of housing for Americans. And you look at your electric bills, you look at fortunately gas prices are down, but we have to communicate to the American people where these high prices came from and what we are doing to address them.
Young people voting, if in fact they vote in the numbers that we've seen in places like New York. Now, again, I think sometimes people look at New York, Mamdani, and they think, well, that's New York. I don't know if the energy is with a younger generation that's gravitating toward that Mamdani, AOC, that lady in Tennessee who's making it entirely too tight today, frankly. Are you worried there's a real energy for that kind of hard left progressive politics if things don't turn around for young people in the country?
It's not so much what the left is selling, because young people understand that you don't get something for nothing. Nothing is free in this country, and American people the young people across America get that. But they also, the left has Trump derangement syndrome. They are furious about the actual accomplishments of this administration, of this Congress. They are mad that we are undoing a lot of the Green New Deal and Joe Biden's massive spending bills. And so they are the ones who are trying to, express their anger at this administration by being motivated to turn out at the polls. That is something we have to combat from our side with information for the public about for independents, for people who support the president, about the great work that's being done, that we can't sit on our laurels, that we can't just sit back and expect that everyone will understand all of the great things that we've been doing. We have to get out there and explain. And so that's what we are doing today and every day.
Is there a creative way, and I've been kind of talking about something on my own show, is there a creative way the private sector could get involved in investing in home lending for young people that doesn't involve government, where somebody that's got a few million and is willing to invest it they get a return. They underwrite young people and housing, and maybe even rolling student loans in it. I mean, can we get creative for young people and say, hey, we've got a way, a private free market way. We can help you without turning socialist.
Absolutely. And the Financial Services Committee, which has jurisdiction over housing issues, is going to be putting out several bills here in the next few weeks to deliver on that promise, to send the message to young people that the American dream is still possible, that you can afford a home at a young age, and that it's something that's not going to put you underwater or in debt to the exclusion of all the other important things in life. And part of that is removing all of these regulations from the housing industry. If you go to people who build houses, say, what's the biggest cost driver? They're going to say all the regs, all of these environmental regs that are being put on, from the type of insulation to the type of energy efficiency to the type of building materials. It all comes back to the mandates from government. You remove those and you make it cheaper to build a house where you can actually afford to either buy a house or rent, and that makes more people invested in the market and in the process. So we've got some great packages that we're going to be rolling out in the next few weeks that will help deliver on our promise of affordability for young people.
You're only one half of the legislature, though. It always goes over to the Senate, and we know right now that filibuster-proof majority has to be 60. Are you a keep the filibuster guy, blow the filibuster out of the water guy?
Well, I tend to respect the other body and their decision making. I do think that when it comes to shutdowns and the funding of the government, this was caused by the Democrats because they couldn't find 8 senators from the Democratic side to join all of the Republicans, save 1 or 2, to actually keep the government operating. And that shutdown really soured a lot of Americans on the process. And so to prevent that from happening, I think that appropriations, which I serve on, should be able to move their legislation without this type of brinksmanship from the minority party. So maybe some exceptions to the filibuster rule might be in order, and we can go from there. But I do think some reforms are needed from the, especially in the Senate, which I'm in a friendly way, call the body of lesser number.
Do you think we'll see more rescissions? Doge, inaccurately, it sounds like, had been reported as dead. OMB, I think, later came back and said, no, it's not dead. We've just incorporated Doge into the way we operate. Are there still meaningful rescissions to be made and ways to cut spending here on Capitol Hill?
There are plenty of ways to cut spending, and on the Republican Study Committee and the budget that we put out, we show a path to exactly where you can cut and how you can save money and balance the budget, because RSC has put out the only balanced budget, save the Budget Committee's product, that actually shows you a path to get there. We're going to continue to work on that. Doge is still going to be part of the process, but as far as rescissions go, when you're trying to rescind money that's been appropriated by the other party, yes, we should continue to try and defund the Pelosi, Schumer, Biden agenda. So as far as rescissions go there, I think we should. When it comes to a Republican House, Republican Senate, and President Trump's legislation, when that appropriations get signed into law, that reflects our priorities. That's less likely to necessitate a rescission because you're cutting from something that you've already kind of cut from and put through a lesser level of spending that is going to help drive the economy and help address affordability issues.
I come at this as not a trick question, and this is my final one, and that is Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has now famously said she's done here at the turn of the year. How are we to read that and kind of the shots she's taken at the GOP on her way out the door?
Well, this job is one of service, and she has served the constituents of her district well, and I think that she will continue to play a role to find a way to serve not just her community, but the entire nation. The conservative issues that she champions are issues that are shared by so many of us in the conference. There'll be a lot of opportunities for us to work together. And
difficult to lose a Republican vote, though, at this time, at this critical time. I mean, you need everybody you can, right?
We do, and I'm sure there are a lot of folks who would rather that we all stay throughout the 2 years that we're elected to. But everybody has individual priorities and needs and demands on their time. And so for her to make that decision, I'm going to leave that to her.
That's diplomatic. Congressman, we appreciate your time today, sir. Thank you
Thanks.
very
Good
much.
to be with you.